Good morning, folks. This is Patrick, Comics and Collectibles channel, aka the Carnage Collector. I've always wanted to have an AKA, but never did. Okay, but I am a collector of Carnage, comics, and most recently statues. In my pursuit of statues, I've come across. Well, let me. You know what? I should have. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but I should have titled it. Always ask questions before you buy a statue. Well, that's for anything, but we talking about statues, so I'm going to say before you buy a statue, ask questions. All right. You know, before I got into this, I researched statues. I looked at all the big statue collectors on YouTube, Jim Mint, that Extreme channel, several others. Not to be dropping names, but you know, I'll give credit where it's due. Got a lot of information from those guys, and I think it was the Extreme channel said he did a list of like 10 things to look out for when you start collecting something like that. And maybe he mentioned this one. I haven't seen that video in a while. Maybe he mentioned this one. I don't know if he did, but maybe I'll leave a link so you can go over and check it out for yourself. A lot of good information. Anyway, I'm here to talk mainly about this statue. This is the one I'm thinking about buying. And I did a video on this one, I think yesterday. You can go find that one and check it out to get any information from it. I don't want to rehash and repeat everything I talked about in that video, but I will talk about this briefly. Well, probably not briefly, but quite a bit. But this is where I'm going with this. Is it the buyer's responsibility only when you buy an item, or does the seller share some of that responsibility? Okay, when I'm selling something, I take pictures of it, I give a description. If there is a major flaw with that item, I put it in writing and I take a picture, a clean, is that a word? I'll look that up. A plain, clear picture of the defect so that the buyer can see it. And the buyer cannot miss this fault, this flaw, unless he just does not pay attention to the listing. Okay, that's the way I do business. All right. Now, I'm going to point out a couple of things. You can say this is dishonest. You can say it's, I hope I didn't show the seller's name. I'm trying not to show any names. Misleading, false advertising, just not giving a person all the information they need to make a smart purchase. Okay, this item here, all right, if you look at it, you may not see anything wrong. And you know what? I'm going to give this seller the benefit of the doubt. And I really don't think I should, but I'm going to do it just in case there's a small percentage I'm just wrong, or maybe there's like the camera lens was like a fisheye lens or some odd, maybe optical illusion or something. Okay, maybe that happens in this picture, but I really doubt it. Now I'm looking at this picture, and I am very familiar with this statue right here. I own one. I just gave away another one. I've looked at many pictures of it online, and there's something very wrong with this tendril right here. It does not look right. Now, to me, it looks bent. I believe there's wiring inside of this statue. So, well, okay, and there's a possibility it could be broken. It's just like leaning up is propped up in there with the statue. I don't know, but that does not look right to me. And here's the seller's description. I don't want to click on it because I don't want to give out his name. And I believe this was on Mercury, whatever. Here's the description. Marvel Carnage bust, blah, blah, very nice condition. Please look at pictures carefully. Okay, and to me, that right there, that's telling me, that's putting the responsibility totally on me as the seller. And once I buy this and I get it and I say, hey, seller, there's something wrong with your statue, I'm thinking the reply or response is going to be, well, I said to look at the picture carefully. Okay, but to be totally upfront, you should have pointed out this. I think there were 4 pictures. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures down here. 3 of them were of the box, and there was 1 picture of the actual item. This should have been taken out of the styrofoam, out of the plastic, and prominently displayed so it could be seen. Okay, I think that's misleading. Okay, that's one. Now, this one. I will give this seller credit. He did take a close-up picture of the defect. But in his description, there was nothing was said about this defect. Okay, here's I think this was the main, this was the main picture. Okay, nice looking bust of Carnage. Okay, and if you're not looking at this really close, you say, oh man, I've been looking for that statue for a long time. Click, buy. A done deal. You'd have bought it. Now, if you don't take the time to study this picture and go through all 8 of the pictures, you will miss this. Right there, his little pinky is gone, it's missing. There was no mention of it in the description. I feel that this person, okay, to be totally upfront and not to be deceptive or misleading or anything, or any misdirection, you know, you try to get the buyer's attention with the pretty glossy, shiny thing, and they miss the little bitty things. Okay, not things, but things. That finger's missing. He should have pointed this out. All right, and I'm going to get to him. Now, but you know, the opposite side of that coin is some sellers do point it out, and that's the way it should be. Okay, this guy, I bid it. I think I bid it? Did I put a bid? No, I didn't. I didn't have the money at the time, so I didn't buy. I didn't bid, but this was a good, I really wanted this. It was a reasonable price. And the only problem with it was the fingers, several of the fingers on his hand had been previously broken and they were glued back on. And the seller stated that in the description. Okay, he's letting anyone know, hey, look, if you buy this, it's not perfect and it's not in perfect condition. The fingers were broken before. Also with this one, and this is a Bowen statue, and I've been looking at this for a while, but I just don't have the money. Again, you know, this statue thing can get addictive, and I'm trying to control that. I'm trying to control it, so I have to limit my spending on these. But the seller here, he pointed, you can't see it, but right there, that's broken. And he pointed that out in his description. That's the way you do it. If there's a major defect, something out of the ordinary, then you let folks know. Okay, and that brings me to this right here. Always ask questions. This statue, I saw it on eBay. It's around, most of the listings are around $400 to $500, and shipping is like $300, around $300. Now there was one seller who's selling this way below that $500 price and for a lot less shipping. Now, initially I thought the seller who was selling for the low price, I thought he had a scam or something shady going on. But now I'm starting to think that the sellers who's selling it for $500 with a high shipping cost, I think they have something shady going on. And I say that because of this. Okay. You can get this in the 1-1 scale or the 1-2 scale. The listings I saw were 1-2 scale. Okay, so they should all be around the same price and around the same shipping costs. It's not. I email, I sent a message to a seller, and these are over in China, I believe China. And I asked the question, is this statue hollow or is it solid? His response is it's hollow. So I believe the height is 16 inches. Okay. And I'm not good with numbers, especially trying to work them out in my head. But I guess anyone who's good with numbers, you can probably figure out, okay, 16 inches in height and then so many inches wide at the shoulders, and you figure out the volume and all of this other stuff. All right. And you say, wait a minute, this thing can only weigh X amount of pounds. And I believe the highest shipping cost was like 300 and something. So based upon the weight, which can't be much if this is 16 inches high and it's hollow, it can't possibly cost 300 and something dollars to ship it from China to the US. Can it? I'm asking the question. I mean, am I too jaded? Someone help me out here. I mean, maybe I'm overanalyzing it, overthinking it, or maybe I'm just, I don't know. It just don't seem right to me. So I'm probably going to order this from the person with the low price and the low shipping costs. But I am presently looking into another website outside of eBay that's selling this too. So, okay, people, I mean, help me out. A serious question. If you are into statues, if you know someone else who is, I'd like an answer because I want to buy this. I just don't want to pay too much for it. All right. And I sure as hell don't want to pay $300 to ship a piece of hollow plastic to me when it shouldn't cost that much. All right, but that was it, folks. I know that's a little negative. I try to avoid negativity on this channel, but you know, this stuff is out there, and I feel I have to point it out because other folks are looking at this. There's about 30 other folks been watching this just about long as I have. And so, you know, if you watching this on eBay and if you see this, please, if you have any information, let me know, because I'm trying to share with anybody else who's interested in this thing. Wow, 16 inches tall and it's hollow. Wow. Okay, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching this. Bye.